The leaves fall, the skies shift. And you wonder, is this the end of something? Or is it just the beginning? Jesus told his disciples to learn from a fig tree, one of the only trees in the region that loses its leaves and still produces a second harvest. He wasn't just talking about trees. He was talking about the seasons that strip us bare. And there's one overlooked line in this passage that reveals exactly what God's doing when everything feels like it's falling apart. Let's talk about it. Jesus wasn't just giving a weather report. He was describing the way some go through the motions, a facade of faith, and he sees that even if he doesn't react because God moves quietly, gradually, through seasons of change. He gives us the room to grow our faith, not just to put on the appearances of a faithful person. When you see these things, know that he is near. This is the dust, the in-between space where everything feels bare, but something deeper is growing. This story points this out. I call it when things fell apart. I remember a season where everything around me felt like it was coming undone. Plans fell apart. People left. I felt like a tree in winter, bare, cold, forgotten. But beneath the surface, God was still working. And eventually, a second harvest came. This one's for the wayfarer, the faithful one walking through a season that doesn't feel fruitful. You're not being abandoned. You're being readied. The falling leaves aren't the end of your story. They're the sign that God is drawing near. He doesn't always show up in the fruit. Sometimes he meets you in the fall. Walking the way is about faith that holds on, especially when life feels stripped bare. It's about choosing trust over panic, stillness over fear. Whether you're a seeker just starting, a stumbler trying to rise again, a wayfarer staying faithful in hard seasons, or a companion offering support, this journey is for you. Now it's time for some reflection questions. What's falling away in your life right now? Have you mistaken a pruning season for punishment? How might God be preparing a second harvest? If you're able, share an answer down in the comments. It's helpful. Here's today's walking practice, a chance to put his message to work in our lives. Take a walk today and notice the trees. Find one that looks barren or stripped. Pause beside it and say, Lord, I trust you, even here, especially here. Don't let me be full of leaves but void of substance. Help me to bear fruit. Let that tree remind you of what's still to come. Every devotion here is made for those who are walking through uncertainty. If you've been walking a while, but lately the road is starting to feel heavy, this is for you. The way isn't always clear, but you don't have to walk it alone. Comment the word step and I'll send you a few things made for the wayfarers. First, you'll get a guide called Why Faith is Still Worth It. 5 reasons to take the first step or keep going. It's a fresh reminder of what still matters, even when your faith feels tired. Then you'll get On the Way, a 1-page journal with 5 verses to steady your spirit. Because sometimes all we need is one verse, one question, one pause to remind why we started walking in the first place. You'll receive the Lantern, our monthly letter. It's like a rest stop on the road, full of stories and truth to remind you why this journey, why it matters. And then there's Whispers from the Dust, a short monthly message, sometimes from me, sometimes from someone else who's walking through hardship and still finding joy. Not loud, not flashy, just light for that next mile. If you are still on the way, even if you're limping, comment step down below. You're not walking this road for nothing. And if you've enjoyed this devotional, go ahead and give a follow because we put these out every single day. And if you wouldn't mind, give it a like. That helps that algorithm and it helps others to find this as well. Now, you don't have to be perfect in your belief. You just have to take it one step at a time. And that's what we do here. So give us that follow and we'll continue doing this together. And now let's pray. Dear Father in heaven, whom through you all things are possible. Jesus told us to watch the fig tree. You taught us to be full of your love, that endings are often beginnings in disguise. Thank you for not abandoning us in bare seasons. Thank you for being near when we feel far away. We confess we often panic when things fall up. We assume you've left. We forget how you work. Help us wait well. Help us see the signs of your presence, even when they're quiet. Grow faith in us while we wait for your fruit again. I pray all these things in your name, Jesus Christ.